only one call away. I'll be there to save the day.
Hey, so I just kind of wanted to make a video and share my experience of meeting and singing with Charlie. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, yeah, so basically on March 28th, 2016, my friend Stephanie and I went to Toronto and we saw Charlie Puth. We had VIP tickets, so we had the meet and greet thing, and yeah, it was really cool. It was a really great experience. It was definitely worth the travel, and it was definitely worth the money I spent. And so basically it was at the Mod Club in Toronto. We got there early that day because he did an HMV Canada that store, record store, whatever. He did a CD signing, so we got we went to that and we met him. And basically so I technically met him 3 times in one day, because we did the HMV meet and greet, or the CD signing. I did the meet and greet, and then I sang with him on stage. So I guess we can count that as 3. I don't know. So basically at the CD signing, it was really cool. He was really nice, and I was really nervous to meet him because I love him. And so I remember we were waiting in line, and like I was getting nervous. And so I'm like a person, I'm prone to saying stupid things when like I meet like celebrities. I don't know why, it just kind of happens. So yeah. And I remember Stephanie, she asked me, she's like, so, Des, what are you gonna say? And I was like, oh, I don't really know. And she was like, yeah, why don't you just tell him you can sing or something? Cause you tend to be dumb. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I did. So I walk up to him, and I kind of like made this face. I was kind of nervous, and he just kind of laughed at me. And then I told him how like I really want to sing with you, and he said to send him some music, and maybe it can happen one day. And so so he said that. So I had all of my friends just start tweeting him, just spamming his Twitter with like videos of me singing and stuff. So it didn't really work, but he didn't notice any of those videos. But yeah, and then we went to the meet and greet, and so meet and greet starting, and then Stephanie goes, and then of course it's my turn again, and I was like so I gave him a letter. One letter was kind of just explaining me as a person, just like it wasn't like personal or anything, it was just kind of like what I do and how music is like my life, and just, I don't know, just in case he ever wanted to get to know me or something, I wrote him a letter about it. And then the second letter was a letter asking him to be my date to my brother's wedding, both of which he didn't get back to me on, so I'm gonna assume he just threw them out. And he didn't read them, because I did leave like my Twitter and stuff like on them, of course, like my number, my Twitter, my email, my address. Okay, I didn't give him my address, but so yeah, so I'm just gonna assume that he just kind of threw them out, which okay. And then like walking out of the thing, I looked at him and I was like, just to let you know, I'm looking forward to singing with you. And he was like, okay. And then they start setting up for Charlie, and as everyone knows, he has the piano that he performs with his piano, and then all of a sudden it's literally right in front of us. So like I was like, oh well, this is gonna be a good show. I'm so glad I get to see his feet the entire time. So he like walks out on the stage. He opens up with Marvin Gaye, and it was pretty amazing. And every time, like, I didn't hold my sign up the entire time, because, like, why would I do that? I wasn't even expecting him to see the sign, so this is where everything gets kind of, like, amazing and interesting. So, yeah, so then he was, I can't remember after what song it was. I'm like that entire night is, like, such a blur, aside from the fact that I got up on stage and, like, sang. So finally he's like talking, and I had my sign and I was like holding it up, and then the one girl, she like grabs the sign and she's like holding it up, and I'm just like, what is she doing? Like, why is she touching my sign? And I didn't realize that Charlie was reading the sign. And he was like, and he read the sign, and he was just like, my dog keeps barking. So he read the sign, and he was like, really? And I was like, uh-huh. And then he's like, loud and clear. I'll insert the little clip of it, but he's like, loud and clear, what do you sing? And I was like, what? And he's like, what do you sing? And I was like, songs. So see, there's me embarrassing myself in front of a celebrity, because it's what I do. And then he's like, oh, okay, do you sing my songs? And then he's like, because I'm the greatest artist, or whatever he said. And then I was like, yeah, I'm really good at singing One Call Away. And he's like, okay, well, do you want to try that really quickly? And I was like, uh-huh.
And so, yeah, Charlie, it's my dream to sing with you. I could try and make that happen. What do you sing? What do you sing? Conveniently, you're right next to the crowd mic. What do you sing? Do you sing, like, my songs? Because I'm the best artist, clearly, in your crowd. Really?
So yeah, so he pulled me up on stage and allowed me to sing with him, and Stephanie was literally sobbing. So some other girl actually took my phone and recorded the video for me. So that happened, and even like when I got up on stage with him, he was so kind. His band was really nice. You know, I wasn't on stage long. I probably about a minute. It lasted about a minute and a half. And it was so surreal. Like, honestly, like, I was ready to like just like kick Charlie off the bench and be like, all right, Charlie, listen, I got this from here. You go chill. I'm gonna perform a show. I'll tweet you when I'm done. I got it. You know, like, being on stage, that's my life. That's where I am. That's what I want in life. So, like, so many people were like, how were you not nervous? And I was like, I wasn't nervous for the part where, like, I was singing, because it's what I've always done, and I started singing when I was 3 years old. I joined my first choir when I was 3, so, you know, I've been doing it for a really long time. I was more nervous because I was sitting next to Charlie Puth, and he was probably like, gonna judge me on my singing. so that's, I think, where the nervousness came in, because, like, my voice was a little shaky, just because, you know, I mean, my dream was happening, you know. So yeah, and then after I walked off the stage, and I went back to my spot, I'm still, like, shocked it happened. I guess, you know, I have no idea if he remembers who I am, or if he ever will remember who I am. I've tweeted the video. It's pinned on my profile. I tweet him, like, every day. And he's yet to tweet me back. He's still swerving on tweets. So I don't know what he thinks of it, or if anything will ever come out of it. But you know what? I got to do what I wanted to do, and there's a plane flying over me. Are you going to Coachella? Me neither. Okay. So I got to do something that so many people doubted would happen for me. It's amazing. And hopefully he'll remember who I am. I don't really know. It'd be cool if he did. It'd be cool if he maybe wanted to write a song with me. I don't know. I think I might be stretching my goals too far now. So we'll see what happens in the near future. I'd love to write with him. I'd love to sit down and get to know him. I'd love to marry him. I'm okay with marrying him too, or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what will happen, but what has happened has been amazing, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience. And if you're not a fan of Charlie, I highly recommend maybe buying his album, listening to some music, researching about him, because he is amazing. He's so nice, and he's so talented. His music is pretty amazing, and I think anyone could really be a fan of him. He's for like everybody, and he's collabed with so many different people. So if you're not a fan, or you're a slight fan, I definitely recommend maybe watching a few interviews, listening to some of his songs, and getting to know who he is, because it is worth it, and his concerts are worth going to. They're so intimate, and he's so talented, and he's just so cute. So if you do ever have the chance to see him live, definitely do it. So overall, meeting Charlie and singing with him was honestly entirely worth it. It was entirely worth my trip to Toronto, and the amount of money that I've spent on the ticket and such. I hope to maybe have it happen again, and I hope to maybe one day actually get to sit down and talk with him, maybe write with him, or something, or do something, get to know him. That would be really cool. So if you want to see the full video of him and I singing together, I'll put the link to that below. And then if you want to follow me on Twitter, at DGDesiderio, and add me on Facebook if you want to be a friend of mine, you can do that too. Okay, talk soon.